Hey everybody, this video brings us out to Elliston, Virginia. And the reason why we are in Elliston, Virginia today is because I am still on the way home, still driving back to Pennsylvania. Had maybe a good I don't know, it says maybe 5-6 hours to go, but usually I'd say tack on an extra hour at least. So probably a good 7 hours to go until I get back home. It's been a very, very long drive. I can't even begin to express to you how excited I'm gonna be when this is the last time I have to drive this in a couple of months from now, 12 months from now or so, when I eventually move down to Florida permanently. And I only have to drive back up this way and back down to Florida maybe, I don't know, once, twice a year when I come up here for conventions or to visit friends or family or something like that. I cannot wait to be in Florida permanently so I don't have to do this drive over and over and over again. But we're here right off of Interstate 81 at a rest area because there's something very interesting I want to show you guys here. Something pretty cool that I saw, I don't know, maybe a year or two ago, maybe it was about a year or so ago when I was last out here stopping at this rest area. There was something really, really neat here. I always love when a rest area like this, a town takes it upon themselves, or I don't know, the interstate or whoever's in charge of building these rest areas. If you know who's in charge of building the rest areas, leave a comment down below. Is it the town? Is it the interstate, highway department? I have no idea. But anyway, I like it when people take it upon themselves, whoever's in charge of building these takes it upon themselves to actually do something very, that truck needs to stop and use the restroom. I like when they take it upon themselves to do something very interesting with the rest area. It's not just a bathroom. There's something interesting here. I like when they do that. It makes your stop a bit more enjoyable because you can check out something cool, something historical. And there is something cool and something historical here we're going to check out. So let's go see it. It's actually on the other side of the restrooms, but I assure you, it's here and it's pretty awesome. Now, this is not actually what I was talking about, but again, like I said, I like when places take it upon themselves to put up historical markers and historical signs and whatnot. And there's a really interesting historical marker right here saying Montgomery White Sulphur Springs. Near here stood Montgomery White Sulphur Springs, popular resort area of the 19th century America. During the Civil War, the resort was converted into a military hospital staffed by Catholic nuns. Several hundred victims of smallpox, including nurses and soldiers, are buried nearby. I'm actually kind of interested in that. I gotta find out where exactly it is they are buried. You guys know how much I love weird burial sites, and I would love to actually find that and document that. It says the Southern Historical Society was reorganized here in August 1878 when Jefferson Davis, the president of the Confederate States of America, delivered the principal address. Pretty interesting. So apparently right by here is a burial site of, I guess, nuns and soldiers who died of smallpox. That is very interesting. And again, I want to find that burial site. I'm gonna have to do some Google research. Maybe next time we come through here, I'll try to hunt that down. But still, cool, awesome historical marker. Like I said, I like when places take it upon themselves to put things like that up. This is a really interesting rest area. There's so much cool stuff to see here. And again, I just really appreciate that. All right, so again, what we're actually here to see is located on the other side of the restrooms. We're gonna go through the arches here, just completely bypass actually using the restrooms. I'll take care of that after I'm done filming. The reason why I wanted to pull over though and stop here, and what I wanna show you guys today sits right here in front of us. This is pretty awesome. This very inconspicuous looking bridge. Looks like nothing spectacular, just a common everyday bridge spanning this little gorge right here, the little river right here, little stream right there. Again, doesn't look like anything all that spectacular. It's just an average everyday bridge, but it's not an average everyday bridge. This bridge actually holds quite a bit of history, and the fact that, again, whoever's in charge of building these rest areas took it upon themselves to save this bridge, to save it from the scrapyard, or to save it from the trash dump or something like that. Pretty awesome, pretty amazing. This could have been easily just melted down, scrapped, maybe turned into something else, but it wasn't. It was saved. Very, very awesome. Again, whoever's in charge of this, of just Virginia in general, to save this bridge right here, because like I said, this bridge, it does indeed hold some history. So as the sign right next to the bridge does state, this is a bowstring arch truss. It says the structure was built in 1878 by King Iron and Bridge Company in Bedford County. It remained in use until 1971. It is the oldest metal bridge in Virginia. This right here is the oldest metal bridge in Virginia. Look at this. I am touching right now the oldest metal bridge in Virginia off, again, Interstate 81 at a rest area. So awesome that this exists. By the way, though, it's very, maybe I shouldn't be touching this. It's actually very, very warm out today, and this is sitting in the sun. If you come out here and you want to touch Virginia's oldest metal bridge, be a little careful. It's black, it's sucking in all the heat, and it's a little toasty right now. Can't keep my hand on that for too long, but still pretty awesome that I am walking over Virginia's oldest metal bridge. And it's awesome that this was saved and that it's here today. The fact that they actually moved this and saved this, again, could have been scrapped, could have been thrown away, could have just been torn down, replaced by another bridge. The fact that they actually took the bridge and moved it here at the rest area to keep this little bit of history alive, to keep the oldest bridge in Virginia alive and still in use. I mean, yes, only being used for passengers nowadays. Cars, I don't believe, are driving over this. Maybe maintenance cars still drive over this to this day to come out here and do some maintenance in the bathroom, possibly. I guess that's a possibility. It is like a one-lane car size bridge, but again, still awesome. Being used at this rest area, Virginia's oldest metal bridge. Something else I definitely appreciate is the fact that right next to the bridge is this plaque telling you all about the bowstring truss bridge. It says this small bridge is the oldest metal truss bridge and the sole survival of its type in Virginia. It was built in 1877-78 over Stony Run in nearby Bedford County. It was subsequently moved to a site over Roaring Run, also in Bedford County, where it remained in highway service until the 1970s. Can you imagine this being used on a highway? I mean, that's like a one-lane bridge right there. That's insane. Moving the metal truss bridges from one location to another was a common practice. VDOT, so there you go. I guess it's the Virginia Department of Transportation. Maybe they are the ones who are actually in charge of building these rest areas. So I guess I'll give the credit to VDOT. Moved the bridge to this location in 1977. That's awesome. Very, very cool. It says in recognition of its historic significance and to serve as a pedestrian bridge. Look at that. Tells you all about how it was built, shows you how it actually works. That is so cool. So much other stuff here to read. Again, so neat that this actually exists. I like how it shows you what it used to look like when it stood in either, I don't know, it doesn't actually say. This is either a picture of it standing over the Stony Run or Roaring Run. I'm not entirely sure, but that's what it used to look like. Again, in highway use. Just crazy to think that at one point that was used for highway travel. Now this is highway travel nowadays. That bridge would not do much good on the highway anymore. If you're careful, you can actually come down to the side of the creek and get kind of a side eye view of the bridge and how it works and what it actually looks like. That is just so cool. Again, you got to be very careful. That's a very steep drop. In fact, when my son and I came out here to see this bridge about a year ago, we actually did walk down there. Now I don't think I'd want to do that. It looks kind of dangerous. I just see myself falling to my death. So we'll look at the bridge from above. Look at that. That is so cool. Virginia's oldest metal bridge. I know, I'm a nerd, but I get a kick out of this kind of stuff. The fact that this is still around, this still exists, is so incredibly awesome. The world's oldest anything, or a state's oldest anything, or just the oldest anything in general really does fascinate me. I love this kind of stuff. I just love the fact that I guess the Virginia Department of Transportation saved this from being demolished. It had been moved around from one location to another location, then it wasn't being used at that location anymore. It needed to be replaced. Again, they could have scrapped it. They could have thrown it out. They could have just melted it down. They could have done whatever they wanted to do with it, but instead, they saved it. They brought it here to be used as a pedestrian bridge at the rest area. That is so awesome. Really appreciate that they actually took it upon themselves to do that, because this is an awesome looking bridge and a very historical piece of transportation history here in Virginia. I don't know, maybe I am crazy for enjoying this stuff so much, or maybe it's just the fact that I'm traveling so much that I enjoy this sort of thing. The fact that I'm always going from Pennsylvania to Florida to Pennsylvania, always going out to New Jersey, always going out to Delaware, just traveling all over the place, going from one roadside attraction to another roadside attraction. I get a kick out of transportation history, and to think that maybe at one point families were traveling over this to get to their destinations. Maybe they were going to visit relatives, or maybe they were going to see, you know, some historic caves here in Virginia, or they were going to go see some other historical roadside thing, or just some historical place in general. There's a lot of history here in Virginia. Lots of cool, interesting roadside attractions, lots of historical places to visit, lots of natural historic places to visit as well. So I could just see over all the many, many decades, just people traveling over this bridge, getting from one destination to another. Maybe they were just going home, maybe they were just going to the grocery store or something like that, but also maybe they were traveling to their roadside destination. Maybe they were like me, going from one point to another to see the weird, the bizarre, the strange roadside oddities, the cool roadside attractions. And that bridge they crossed over is now a roadside attraction in of itself. Or, again, maybe I'm just crazy, but I get a kick out of this kind of thing. All right, guys, but with that, we are done. Again, just wanted to pull over here in Elliston, Virginia to show you guys Virginia's oldest metal bridge, because this is just too awesome. The fact that I can actually walk over Virginia's oldest metal bridge right now is really, really awesome. The fact that you can stop by here and walk over Virginia's oldest metal bridge is pretty cool. Right off of Interstate 81, again in Elliston, Virginia. If you're ever driving down Interstate 81, you happen to be coming through the town of Elliston, Virginia, whether you have to use the restroom or not, I highly recommend pulling over just to see this and to walk over Virginia's oldest metal bridge. And if you guys have ever walked over Virginia's oldest metal bridge, how many times am I going to say that in this video? But if you ever walked over Virginia's oldest metal bridge right here, leave your comments down below. I want to hear about you and your trip over Virginia's oldest metal bridge, because that is pretty awesome. But all right, guys, with that, we are done. So as always, thank you all so much for checking out this video. Be sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, check down below for links to Patreon. If you guys do become a patron, I will send you a postcard every single month from the road. Also check down below for a link to Spreadshirt, where you can grab yourself retro rest stop t-shirts. Proceeds both from Spreadshirt and from Patreon do help supporting the show, keeping the show going, bringing us out to amazing places like Virginia's oldest metal bridge here in Elliston, Virginia. Pretty awesome. Look at that. How cool. Every day, hundreds of people walking over that bridge right there. Might not get driven over anymore, but the fact that it's still in use to this day, and that hundreds of people still walk over this, probably not even realizing that it is what it is pretty awesome. Though I do wish more people would read that historical marker right there and realize that it is what it is. But again, guys, if you've been out here, leave your comments down below. But again, I'm gonna let you guys go. So like I said, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. And if you do hit that subscribe button, or you are subscribed, then I will see you guys in tomorrow's video. Most likely, well, no, definitely back in Pennsylvania. I still have so much more driving to go. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Have a good one. All right, bye.